So, boom. There it is.
God, you're typing fast.
I'm typing slow. I'm thinking I'm like, derp. Okay.
There we go. Retweet.
So that's done. Let me go ahead and start this puppy up. Alright, so we're live now. And hi guys, jojopetv here. And I am with Shaun of the Dead here, a friend of mine, YouTuber, and a fellow machinima partner, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm not partnered at all.
You're not partnered?
I'm
You're still
not
not partnered?
partnered.
Oh my god, this is atrocity. That's crazy. Well,
Yeah,
we used
I'm
to
not-
be on machinima, well, the machinima app, Respawn app together, and that's how I met you through Rumac, and you know we go way back. We used to play a lot of Call of Duty and Halo together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is how I know this guy. So my Xbox One, what? Just right off, what do you think?
I wasn't impressed. One or two cool things, you know, being able to pull your screen out like that. Oh, that was really cool, but it was a big letdown considering they pushed this back an entire month after the PlayStation 4 reveal. You know, because they needed to show something big, and they didn't really deliver. Really, it just felt like it was lacking something. I think they talked about sports for about 80 minutes of that whole reveal. It was just shit.
Right.
I wasn't happy with it at all. I mean, it looks like a big slab. I mean, I can understand it needs to be quite big for numerous other reasons, you know, for power. But then again, you know, I like women with nice thighs and nice breasts, but it doesn't mean their face needs to be a fucking train wreck. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. You know, the whole package.
Yeah, I want it to at least look the part. So it just looks like
Yeah,
it's
it
very
looks ugly. Ugh.
solid. I don't know why they've done that.
I don't know. It looks like a VCR from the 80s.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a VCR.
Or something really big and clunky like that. What are the worst things you hated about it that you saw?
The worst. See, I'm not too sure. I mean, what really annoyed me was the constant talk about sports, NFL, freaking all these. I mean, they've got going on all about this American TV stuff, but it's not available outside America on launch. So the rest of the world ain't going to be able to use that at all. Which I just think that they're basing so much of their show on that, yet we can't even use it. That's just shit. It's no good.
Yeah,
They should be sharing stuff that everyone can use, not just, you know, one country.
Right. Well, it's also a launch, so it's going to take them time for them to develop all the relationships they need to with the UK. It's a whole different ballgame. They're talking about royalties and literally like laws and all this stuff that are totally different over there. So it's going to take some time, but
I mean, what I didn't like...
you just need to move to America, that's all.
Yeah. What I didn't like was this whole thing, what they're doing with pre-owned games, which wasn't mentioned during the stream. This was afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where apparently there's going to be a pre-owned fee, right? So, but this doesn't just go with pre-owned games. Say if I wanted to lend my friend a game, he's going to have to pay a pre-owned, he's going to have to pay a fee just to play it because it's going to think it's a pre-owned game.
Oh, no.
So,
No, it went further than that.
Yeah, I mean, because it said, you will still have to play that game around your friend's house if you download your profile from the cloud. But, you know, if you can't accidentally lend out games. You can't rent out games anymore. You're not having to get games off Love Film and stuff like that. Because a lot of people, you know, tend to get games for a couple of weeks from, you know, certain websites and that. You're not going to be able to do that anymore.
Right.
And it's like they've just got a shotgun and just got right in their leg. Because it's the most stupid. Why they've done it? It's to stop piracy.
To speak to that, first off, like this guy, what was this? Jason Scherer of Kotaku. He did an interview later on after the conference with one of the execs, and the exec said further than what you said. He said that if there's a one-time activation fee that comes with every game. Past that, no matter where you get it from, you have to pay the full price of the game. There's no used game price. There's no used game fee. Now, two things. Number one, this sort of thing, like back when PS3 was still not out, they announced that they're going to make every game kind of engraved onto a console. So if you tried to go to your buddy's house or use it or anything like that, then you couldn't. You remember that? That was something on the PS3, and they ditched it because of all the flack they got over it. And this is something that's very similar. So, and also, execs tend to talk out of like their buttocks and say things that they would like to be and aren't necessarily like something that's they want to make work, but in the end gets flubbed, gets like thrown off the shelves, and okay, we're going to actually do it this way, and it comes out differently. Yeah. And, until we actually get everything on the shelf and get it into our houses, and try it out ourselves, nothing is set in stone. Yeah. So anything you see today may change.
Yeah, well, I hope that's not the case when we're, you're going to be paying money for even up to full price for a used game, or even if you wanted to borrow a game off a friend. I just hope that is not going to happen, because it's ridiculous. It's not fair. So say mate ain't got no money and he's had a fed up day. He just wants to borrow a game to blast a few people or whatever, and he can't. And the Xbox, Xbox play game. No, give me your fucking money first. Fuck off. It's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it's like it's just, why would they do that? And that was not another thing. Apparently, another thing that is pretty bad is the Kinect has to be connected to the console. The console will not work without the Kinect.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I mean, my Kinect's packed away. It was pointless because the damn thing kept picking me up every time I moved around. It would do stuff when I was speaking to friends online. I mean, at one point I nearly bought like 4,000 Microsoft points because I was having a chat with someone on the phone. I just can't imagine what this one's going to be doing.
Well, it's also always going to be on. So even if the system is turned off, the Kinect's going to be on. So you can be like, Kinect on. Yeah. Because a lot of derps were like, when they got the Kinect, they were actually trying to turn on the Xbox with the Kinect when it was powered off, and things like that. But yeah, it's crazy. Also, the always on. They say it's not always on, but you have to have it on. You have to have internet connection with your Xbox or your Xbox One at least one time a day. Yeah. The rest of the time, it has to verify that your IP address and all that stuff.
Exactly. I mean, or whatever. With the internet connection I'm on at the moment, I'm constantly getting disconnected and I'm having to restart stuff. I mean, it's not going to work at all. And luckily I managed to do the stream with you at the moment because I'm plugged in by Ethernet cable. But the internet here in the UK, it's terrible. I mean, it's no way near up to standards of the USA. I mean, we've only just got freaking EE down, here, and so it's gonna. I think it's gonna show a lot of effect here. I don't understand what they're thinking. I can't understand where they're going with it. I mean, it's cool that they've got a Blu-ray player. Well done for sorting it out, because that was expected. But they kind of breezed over that right at the beginning. They didn't really. They just said it's got a Blu-ray player. I didn't even hear it. I thought we didn't even have one still. So that's pretty cool. And we can still play single player. Still play single player games offline. Watch films offline. Well, that's about it. That's as far as you can go. But I don't know, Jojo. I mean, just trying to look at some of the notes I've got. Just give me a second.
My Halo is not installed, so I blew you up to like pretty much this whole size of the stream. So they're looking at you. I need to get another camera, seriously. Oh, okay, so yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things that I didn't like, but there is one shining light, like more than anything else, that was like really cool to me, and it was the fact that you can record your gameplay on the cloud, and you can edit on the cloud. So like, you don't have to have a cap card anymore. Everything can go. Game DVR is the function, I believe it's called.
You have to pay for extra cloud storage, though, don't you?
I didn't see that anywhere. I'm sure there is somewhere where you pay a premium, but still, it's better than, like, I was talking to this guy today during a live stream I was doing, and he was saying that he had like 2 gigs of footage that he lost because his hard drive died.
Yeah.
Imagine like, whoa, well, it was in the cloud, so I don't have to worry about it. I just have to download it from there, and you can edit in the cloud and do all that stuff. That's so cool, and you can upload it. It seems like there may be an actual place, like a community on Xbox Live, where you can upload your gameplay and commentaries or whatever. That seems like a thing they might be doing.
That's cool. That's cool. All I can think now is that, because eventually there's only 500 gig of hard drive space on this Xbox, and when you're installing all these brand new games that are going to take up a lot of space, eventually you're going to fill up that space. I mean, I've almost filled up my hard drive with all the games I've got installed on that. When you get to cloud, I imagine you're going to have to pay for that extra space. I imagine you'll get so much gig free,
right?
But you're going to fill that up. After 7 years of having a console, you're gonna fill that hard drive up.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things.
The only reason my hard drive ain't full is because I've had about 3 or 4 different bloody Xboxes. So.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's something else. When you pop in any game into your console, it automatically installs.
Has to be installed.
Yeah.
Has to be installed.
And I was looking at like the size of like the discs right now that are just DVD-ROM discs, or not Blu-ray. So anywhere in between 5 to, like, I did an Army and 2 install earlier today, and it was 8.6 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's going to go really fast. That's not even considering the fact that, these are going to be Blu-ray games. And also, one of the things they mentioned on the specs was it's going to have a 4K output. So, are they going to have native 4K programming like on Blu-ray, or are they going to have like an upscaler? Kind of like the Xbox. It's not really native 1080p. It's like upscaled from 720p because there's no way to put that much information on a DVD-ROM. There's way too much information in 1080p. So, how big are the things going to be? The drives or the discs going to be on these games that we're going to have to install, like 10, 15 gigs?
Yeah. I mean, because I think a Blu-ray disc can hold up to 50 gig.
Right.
That's
right.
That,
up to 50, but that's never been.
It's not been fully used. I mean, for some reason they don't put entire TV series on one disc, which I think is retarded because I hate changing discs.
It is.
So, yeah. So I don't know why they don't do that. But I mean, I think the idea of installing a game and booting it straight from your hard drive without having to change discs, I like that because it does annoy me if you get a game which is on 1 or 2 discs. I like the idea of being able to boot straight from, without having to use the disc.
Right.
So that is cool. I mean, there's pros and cons, but it seems there's more cons than pros at the moment for the Xbox One, which is a weird name change.
Yeah, that's so weird. It's like I was saying earlier, it's like they had a hard on for BBC and they just want to do it like then. They're like BBC One, next one's going to be BBC Two, and then BBC Three. But I understand from a marketing point of view, hey, this is the Microsoft, or this is the Xbox One. It's your all-in-one for all your gaming and entertainment needs. That's a clever way, to name your product if you're going to use it for a lot of different marketing purposes, campaigns and whatnot. But I want to give a shout out to like Robert McAllister and also Anakin and MC Player who are in here saying hi. And Robert asked, are you going to get the Xbox One? So what do you think?
I'm going to wait till E3 first. I honestly can't say that's what I'm going to do because it's just not enough to persuade me to get an Xbox One. Same with PlayStation 4. I need to hear some more information before really making my mind up.
Right.
I mean, it also depends on what a lot of what you do, a lot of my friends do, because I play online with most of my friends. Which majority goes with whichever console, I'll probably get that one because it's not that much fun when you're playing online on your own and have no friends.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding that with a lot of games lately because I'm making new friends because the old crew's not playing the same games I am anymore. So I can feel that. But I was really my friend iGuitarD2744 said he's ready to join. Let me put him on real quick.
Okay. Get him up. We haven't talked about the possibility of having dog DLC yet, Jojo, and I think that could be a big possibility of Call of Duty Ghosts.
What's that? Oh, dog DLC.
Dog DLC, Dalmatian DLC.
Question is, do I get to play as the dog? Because if I get to like do bomb runs, C4 bombs, that I'm in. I'm pre-ordering right now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I love German Shepherds, so I think that's cool anyway. It does look promising in a way. It does look better than what we've been playing, but whether they've, it's their first next-gen game, so they're just going to have as many problems, doing what they're doing now.
Yeah.
They're just going to have the same
with
problems.
the new architecture and all that stuff. So.
Exactly. So it's not going to be amazing. We're bound to have, God knows how many issues with this new console, in the first, year.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sean, this is Alec. Alec, this is Sean. I
Alec.
2744.
Hello.
And, how you doing?
Doing good.
We were just talking about, the Xbox One and how, they kind of bunked it. Or they didn't bunk it. It just wasn't everything we thought it would be. I kind of, I kind of got mad because whoever does all these leaks and everything, and I just lost your picture because I'm doing a group call now. Sorry, guys. One of the things I hate about today's social media and internet is that we get all the details before Microsoft gets to announce it. So I feel like we're kind of giving them the short end of the stick when the conference actually happens, and then everybody's like, "Oh, we already knew all this stuff," and it's like, well, this is coming from the horse's mouth. It's not just hearsay anymore. And people I'm so disappointed in the Xbox One and their conference, and this is the Sony PS4 conference. Happened a couple months ago or a month ago or whatever. Same thing. It's I don't know. So it's I don't know. So what the question we got earlier was, are you going to get the Xbox One based on what you know now? Alex.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Basically, it depends on what the cost of each console is going to be, and I assume they're going to be pretty similar. And it also depends highly upon which ones my friends are going to get, because that's the basically primary reason why I do online gaming, is to game with people I know for the most part. But I don't know. Some stuff of the Xbox, it just doesn't seem that good. Like the fact that they're getting rid of used games for the most part, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because games are pretty expensive as it is.
Yeah, indeed. Very much so. We were just talking about that a minute ago about the one activation code, and then the rest you pay full price for the games. It's just ridiculous. What do you think about? Oh, what was the favorite part of the console for you?
All right. I'm not sure at all, because I have no clue, to be honest.
You can't think of one feature that jumped out and you're like, oh, that's cool. It's not like everybody else. Or, I'd buy that for $1.
I'm not 100% sure. I can't pull one off the top of my head at this time, which is kind of hard to believe because they just announced it.
Right. Well, what kind of upsets you about the system?
Well, again, the fact that they got rid of the used games and the whole, I don't know, I just feel like the console itself, the design is really the deciding factor on whether or not I'm going to buy it, but the design itself isn't exactly what I thought it would be.
Right.
And it's pretty simple. It's pretty big as well. It's a huge design. It's almost the size of the computers we have at school. Obviously not a full tower size, but pretty big as it is. The controller's a little different, not way too different in my opinion, which was kind of a downside. I think the PS4 has an upper hand with their controller because they actually did some new things with it. uh, and I'm not sure. You know, just various things.
That's weird. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pulling up
Yeah.
I switched out my hard drive. I'm pulling up my Halo 4, so they had something to look at since
Yeah.
we can't look at your beautiful face anymore, there, Sean.
No, apparently I didn't have group chat. I've just enabled a free trial, so
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know what that's about, but I just
Put you
clicked
back
it.
on then.
Hopefully it won't cost me any money. I haven't
Hey,
put
just
my
make sure and
details in.
cancel it before the 30 days is up.
I will do.
Okay, let me go and push you over here. Where are you? There you are. Can I get you out of here? I gotta.
Trapped in a box.
So I wonder, back to what I was talking about earlier, the game DVR function, because I know that's really big for anybody that does YouTube. You know, like I want the ability. That would be awesome for not just for us to have the ability to do that, because we may be able to turn that. They may turn that into live streaming abilities later on, but also, you know, people that are wanting to get into YouTube and you know, make gaming videos and commentaries and blogs and all that sort of stuff. Maybe do it over games. That'd be really cool too. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if. Sorry, what? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can imagine it'd be pretty sweet, especially because they've got this dual. You know, you have to do two things at once. So like we could do what we're doing now and be live streaming as well with the Skype, at the side and playing the games and stuff. I can imagine you could do some interesting things with that. So you know, it does open up a lot of possibilities. I also wonder if you could actually do screen sharing as well on the console with other people, because that'd be interesting as well. You know, being able to show someone something in a game or whatever. I think that could be interesting. Ooh.
What do you think about it, Alec?
I think that obviously there's going to be a lot more competitiveness in the whole YouTube side of gaming, but I don't know. It kind of defeats the purpose of having an HD PVR or Elgato or something like that capture card. But yeah, it's definitely a good thing for people who possibly didn't have a capture card or couldn't afford one, because now there's one built into your console for the most part.
Right.
Which is an awesome thing to have.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not going to turn you into an automatic star. I mean, as long as you can make decent videos for your content. People seem to think having a HD PVR means, that's it, you're going to be a success, but
right.
Yeah, it's not completely true.
Right. I mean, I went probably about 6 or 8 months before I got a PVR or anything like that, just because someone suggested it.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I started off with an Easy Cap, and then Easy Cap 50 hertz record rate, and that was it.
It sounds like you went up to the Lowe's or something like that and got a couple of twisty tabs and put some wires on it and plugged it into your Xbox. Easy Cap.
Easy Cap.
For pleasure.
Yeah. But the Roxio does its job. That's all I need at the moment until.
Yeah, Roxio's they're pretty decent.
Yeah.
I got this new one. I don't know if y'all have heard of this, the AverMedia Live portable gamer. Live gamer portable, sorry, and it's like the size of the Elgato, maybe a little bit bigger, but it can actually capture directly to SD card without a PC.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And I live streamed with it earlier. It can actually do 1080p. It can live stream to 1080p without my computer being able to.
That's pretty impressive. Straight to an SD card. Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, that
was costly. That cost some money. That cost some money.
Oh, it was it's actually on the same price. 180.
Yeah.
Really?
The Elgato software is not even. I mean, they got some issues with their software.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all. I mean, just like this one. This one's in beta. This software it comes with for live streaming and everything. So it's it's still early on, but it's really cool to see that things are changing like that. I'm just running around in circles. I'm playing on this tiny screen so I can see it all and everything.
Yeah.
So what else? What else about the system?
What Well, I don't really know much about the system because all they did is talk about NFL. So.
Oh, dude, like, I hate when they like bring all up all this fluff. They're talking about like the entertainment aspect of it. It's like I don't care about that. Like, I know there's probably some, huh?
One thing that's disappointing is it's not backwards compatible, and that makes me wonder. Because, okay, I can't play my Xbox games, but what about all those games I've got on demand? What about all those Xbox Live Arcade titles? Are they going to be able to cross over as well, or am I not ever going to play those? Because if you can bring over your account, your achievements, and all that crap, you should be able to play the arcade games and on-demand games you've downloaded. I don't understand why that won't work.
Well, I think they're talking more about like the actual like console part of it, like the. Like porting it, they'll probably do that eventually with Xbox Live Arcade games. They'll probably port it or have like an emulator. I mean, if Nintendo can do that, I'm sure Microsoft can afford to do that.
Yeah,
but like when it comes down to, huh?
They should be able to do that anyway. I mean, because if you're going to bring out a new console, you're not going to have many games on launch. People are still going to want to play some of the older games that have just been released this year, and. They don't have to make. I mean, the Xbox 360 is backwards compatible. You can only play select games. I don't see why they can't do that with this new Xbox. But what would annoy me more if I can't play my original Xbox game, Xbox 360 games. If I can't play the games I already have on demand and already purchased on Xbox Live, that'd be annoying as well. Because then you ain't got technically all your games. It's just a waste. And the only way you'd have to play them is keeping your console. But, if you haven't got lots of money like me, you're going to want to trade in that console towards a new one.
Right.
So
right.
It's, it's a bit of a fucker.
Yeah, because, I mean, well, also you got to think about, if you trade in your Xbox, like right now, you know how much you get for it?
Yeah, you won't get a lot.
$40.
Yeah.
It's really not going to make that much of a difference, huh?
It depends where you go. It's not so bad. Some places here in the UK you can get a fair price, towards £80 to £100, depending where you go. It's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, if you got like a trade-in deal or something like that, but it's really not going to make that much of a difference. I don't think. Like maybe if you traded in all your stuff together, it would make a dent in it.
Yeah.
But then you're going to be like, oh man, I missed this game, I missed this game, I missed this game.
Exactly. But when they're on about, we're having all your entertainment all in one console, well, they're not really, are they?
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not. They're not got all your entertainment, because all your entertainment's on the other fucking console, which can't be ported over. So it's not there. It's
they'll do that though. What they'll do is like they'll say. Like right now, they're saying, "Oh, well, they won't be backwards compatible." They'll port the games and make them Xbox Live Arcade, and then charge you again for them, just like Sony's doing.
They fucking better not. But but the thing is, when I was watching this reveal, that would have been positive. Saying something like that would have been a good thing. We're not going to put a fee on pre-owned games because this is what everyone's been talking about in the last few months. All this stuff that people be, hope this ain't happening, hope this happening, and then they don't address it in the reveal, and then afterwards you start finding out that there's all this other crap going on. People are going to be pissed off, and I'm one of those people. I'm not happy about this whole idea that it's not going to be backwards compatible at all. That there's going to be a fee on pre-owned games. That I'm not going to have to lend games out, or someone lend a game to me without having to pay fuck knows what to play it. That the Kinect's always going to have to be online, connected, and I can't put it away because it looks like a pile of shit standing on my TV. I can't. It's just I don't want that.
Right.
So, it's things like that. It's you can understand why people are getting a bit pissed off with it.
Yeah, it's a classic case of one set of people ruining something that doesn't need to be ruined for a lot of other people, like. All the people that crack their Xboxes and crack games and pirate games, and they play them on their consoles. That's why this exists, so they can monitor your console and know, hey, you stole that game. I'm gonna ban your Xbox or ban your console. Sign in and your gamer tag.
Yeah, but but people always find a way around.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's always a back door. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Always.
So I mean, it's going to kill the pre-owned market big time.
If it does go to fruition, yeah, it will. But you know what? This isn't anything new. This is something that
it has been talked about for a while. Yeah,
that not just the PS3 thing, but like last year there was like some PC game that came out, and I think it was Diablo 3, wasn't it? That they offered like something special inside, like a free 1 month membership to that streaming game service. And they took the little insert. They opened up the packages, the PC packages, took out the inserts. It was in Deus Ex, is what it was, and it had like a free month of what is that streaming game service? I can't think of the name of it right now.
I only know Twitch. And
no, streaming game. Like it's like a game cloud service.
On Live.
On Live, yeah, that's it. It had like a free month on Live, and GameStop went in, and they had like a like a mandate, like company wide, to take all the inserts out and not give them to people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So ever since then, they've been trying to like hey, come and buy a Steam wallet money and buy this and buy that, and they're trying to niche their way into the digital market as well as the storefront, which like even at the end of the day, they're not going to make near as much money off of like retail as they do off of the used markup. That's really where they make their money.
Well, the thing with the pre-owned used market, right, is that they're going to have to step it up in video games and how long they last. I mean, I picked up Metro last night, Fat Saturday. I finished it over the weekend. It was 12 to 15 hours. It's a good game, but 12 to 15 hours doesn't warrant a £40 price tag.
Or $60? Is that $60?
Yeah,
okay.
Something like $60. You're going to be paying full price, and then you might not be able to trade that game in. You could be stuck with it. And when you look on Steam or PC, these games are always cheaper.
Yeah, $10 less.
Yeah, by $10. Why isn't that the same with console? Because surely it should be the same. Because the thing is, these new console games, the Xbox One, are going to be like, is it £50? So that's going to be like $70 per game.
Where'd you get that from?
But this is what it's saying. I mean, on some of the UK sites, I mean, Nintendo Wii U games at the moment, they're like £45 to £50 here in the UK. So
See,
I imagine
here in the States they're $10 less. All the Wii U games.
Really?
$49.99.
$49. Well, that's like the type of prices they are in the UK, but in pounds. So you might be getting a bit of a better deal. It depends really.
How many people own a Wii U?
Yeah, how many people own a Wii U in the stream?
Right. Well, you got me, so that's one.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm actually like they're upping their game on the Wii U. I know everybody's bashing it right now, but they're really going after the digital market. Like they're trying to bring in indie developers that would normally develop on like the mobile platforms.
Well, they are trying to get mobile gaming to come to the Wii U. Right. That's what I've heard. I mean, because
the Wii U control pad the gamepad is perfect for that because if they don't have access to their TV, they can still play on that, and it's touchscreen and all that stuff. So it's
then you can do that with your tab. Or your Nexus 7, which is only like 100.
Right, but I don't have to buy that too. I don't have to buy that separately. I already have this. And I have a real game console.
You already had an iPad, so
Right, that's true. But there are games that are exclusive on the Wii U that aren't available on the iPad and the Android tablet.
The thing is, what's interesting is what's been going on with EA, because I've been looking into it, and it was when the Wii U was being in development, and EA wanted it to be Origin integrated.
Oh yeah.
And Nintendo said no, and I think we're seeing a bit of a shrapnel from that now, because EA have now said you're not having any of our games released on your console. Maybe one or two, but that means by the looks of it, there's no Battlefield 4, no Mass Effect, no Dragon Age, no Star Wars games, and that's pretty bad, because I remember the Star Wars games on GameCube were brilliant. Remember Rogue Squadron,
right,
and stuff like that. But that's going to hurt. A lot of the Nintendo people, fans are saying, "Oh, who cares? EA shit," but it's going to hurt. no matter how you look at it, a lot of, because a lot of people may want to play the Dragon Age Mass Effect games and that because they are good games.
Going back to the Xbox One, did you hear that Mass Effect 4 was going to be exclusive for Xbox One?
Yeah, originally. Mass Effect 4 was going to be an exclusive. No, I didn't hear that.
That's something I heard a few minutes ago.
I'll be buying an Xbox then. I'll be getting an Xbox One. Right? Yeah. I love Mass Effect. It's such a good game series. From the very first played it, I was like, "Fucking hell, this is great."
So based on that, would you get an Xbox One based off of that fact alone?
Yeah, I think a Mass Effect exclusive. I wouldn't have to pass that up because I do like the game. I do like the series, and I can only imagine what they could do with the next gen with this game series. They could just. I mean, what they already done on our generation of console was good, but what they're going to do, and also I love the multiplayer on Mass Effect as well. I got hooked on that big time, so it's going to be, that would kind of like I'd be more likely to get it for that reason.
Right. Yeah. Just one. That's what they need is they need exclusives. I heard they're going to have 14 or 15 exclusive titles at launch.
Yeah,
that's a pretty high number. Like, I wonder how many they're actually going to have at launch.
Yeah, I mean
30, 35?
Forza's already been spoken for, which it is a good racing game.
Yeah, that's Xbox. That's always been an Xbox exclusive.
It's been an Xbox exclusive, which, they don't really need Project Gotham anymore because we've got everything in Forza now.
Oh, there was a survival horror game. What is that? Quantum Ship? Not Quantum Ship. Quantum something. I
don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, they didn't really show much to give you any idea of what the game was like at all. To be honest, there's some live action sequence of a little girl looking. Yeah, no, not until E3. I'll have to wait.
Right.
Until E3.
Well, there's a teaser trailer, but it didn't really give anything away.
Yeah, it's just. I mean,
but it's also the developers are the same people that did Max Payne and Alan Wake, so it kind of brings me some hope.
But the thing is, Xbox hasn't had the strongest exclusives. I mean, I know it's a big argument a lot of people have. A lot of people say PlayStation have the best exclusives, and when you look at games like Uncharted and Killzone and Resistance, they are three of the best exclusives on PlayStation. And then you've got the new games.
God of War.
Oh yeah, God of War's kind of it was good, but apparently the last one hasn't been that great.
Well, yeah, but it's also it's an iconic franchise that's only available on Sony. Yeah. So then you have Ratchet and Clank, you have Jak and Daxter, you have the what is the little creatures? Little Big Planet.
Dynasty Warriors.
No, that's not exclusive.
Dynasty
they may have
Warriors
one that's exclusive on there, but they have certain ones on Xbox that are.
But Dynasty Warriors 8 I think that's the only PS3 game other than The Last of Us I'm getting this year. So.
Well, when you talk about exclusives, usually you're talking about first party. I mean, it's rare that like EA will be like, hey, this is only Xbox One. With Mass Effect, that's pretty big to say that they're not going to do it.
It's quite interesting because the people behind Resistance, I can't remember the developers, but they're the guys behind Fuse. So they've been developing their games on PlayStation, and Fuse is their first cross-platform game, which is only for PlayStation and Xbox. It's not on PC or Wii U, because they said it was the first time they was branching out, and they only want to develop on focus on both consoles, which is interesting.
Yeah, Strangelove is on the live stream. Strangelove, if you want to join in, just hop on Skype and I'll add you. If you want to put your 2 cents in there.
Yeah, I'd like to know what Strangelove thinks.
Well, she said, it didn't give us much game-wise at all. The new Xbox is basically a computer. I already disappoint. And JCL, you straight up sucks, says they focus more on the game, things that are not important to the gaming experience. It's a VCR.
Yeah. He's got a good point.
But I mean, when it comes down to it, I would I'd rather have Halo in the Halo franchise. I'm sure they'll have Halo 5 out next year.
Yeah.
2014, next fall.
Yeah.
And what else is exclusives? That's really the main one. I mean, Gears of War. I mean, after Gears of War Judgment, I'm just kind of like, don't even care anymore. It's like, hey, we don't even care enough like to develop this ourselves. We're going to do it in coordination with this other developer.
Judgment was a failure, and it was a microtransaction nightmare. I couldn't believe like half the game was just locked.
Right.
I did not like that. I mean, it was even the campaign was boring. They went on about this smart spawn system, which technically is what Mass Effect's multiplayer is about, and you just ended up fighting the same thing for the entire campaign. So it wasn't really that good.
Right.
So I hope there's not going to be any. I hope Gears of War has ended now, and we get something new.
Oh, there's no way. No, I doubt. Like, unless Microsoft lets it go, because that's the problem. Like, they see something that makes money, they just keep pumping it until it doesn't put out any cream anymore. Sorry. Your Skype video is still on the live stream, by the way.
That's fine.
I love your reaction. Yeah, but I mean, what else? What other titles? They got Microsoft. They got Forza Motorsport, which is a good franchise if you like racing games.
Fable,
yeah. As long as they don't do another Kinect only game, I would definitely get into that because I love all three the real Fable games. This Fable, like the last one that came out, it was all like Kinect. It was like, oh, I'm just gonna throw fire and stuff in there, walk around.
Yeah.
It's like first person perspective. I was like, that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's not really many. There's not many exclusives I know about. I mean, there was that one that was like Rome, where you're fighting soldiers and stuff, sword and shield type game. I can't remember what it was called though. And you was like a.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it though. It was on Xbox One, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was announced for this Xbox for Kinect, but it never came out. And I think they're saving it for obviously the new one. But I can't remember what the hell it was called. But it was shown at E3. I can't think of any like exclusives for the Xbox.
What about you? Alec?
What?
You have anything to add to the exclusive, the Xbox exclusive?
They have a lot more exclusives. So
like what do they have?
Obviously, Halo. I don't know. They have the upper hand. It's like always. I feel like they have the best exclusives.
All right. Well, what are they?
Halo, man.
Besides Halo, what's Halo?
I don't even know, man.
I'm just gonna have a quick look. I'm gonna cheat.
Yeah, I'm playing League of Legends. So
are you really?
Yeah, I'm.
Okay.
I get into a game.
All right. Nice. Well, let me get you off the call if you're playing a game.
All right.
I don't want to inconvenience you. I'll talk to you later.
See.
Let's have a look.
Let's see. Let me get him off real quick. How do I get him off?
Literally, that doesn't help at all. Xbox. I mean, I can just get ones that have been out on the 360 for now, because.
I'll do this.
Geometry Wars.
There we go.
Crackdown. That would be.
Geometry Wars. That was awesome. I mean, that's an Xbox Live Arcade game. Castle. If you want to go there, Castle Crashers. Yeah, that's a good exclusive. There aren't that. I mean, you don't want to go like Xbox Live. I mean.
Yeah.
One thing they did do right was they were also, they did the indie, like games like the Dishwasher Samurai or whatever it was.
Yeah,
things like that. Those are really cool, and Super Meat Boy. I think that's Xbox exclusive.
No, it's on PC as well.
Is it?
Well,
it used to be. It used to be Xbox only, or I think it was. And Fez for a long time was Xbox only.
Yeah. Fez, that was a good game.
Yeah, so I mean, there are a lot of titles like that, like an Xbox Live Arcade, and they really opened it up for a lot of indie developers. Even though it was like difficult for them to develop, they still opened the door. Like XNA, I think with at 360, and it'll be interesting to see if they like back off a little bit with how restrictive they are. They're basically like the app store of consoles, because it's kind of the same way. Like it's real restrictive, and you have to wait a long time, and you can get rejected. Like I think the people that did Minecraft got rejected one time on the one of the updates.
Well, from what I heard, it's really hard to like, because my nephew, he knows a lot of indie developers, and he said it was really hard to get a patch out on Xbox because they had to pay so much money for the patch. And that type of practice they need to change if they want indie developers to thrive. Because at the moment, PlayStation 4 seems more indie developer friendly than the Xbox.
Right. Yeah. They're really opening it up, is what I heard on PSN.
Yeah, they're opening it up big time. And like at the end of the day, indie developers are getting they're bigger than ever now. I mean, you look at Minecraft, look at like Slender, where that came from. These things that are just like sweep across the internet and become so big, it's unbelievable. And they can thrive on console, but only if because indie developers, they ain't going to be loaded, they ain't going to have loads of money, and not going to have to get patches out left, right, and centre due to how Xbox works things. So they need to make that easier for them to do that, and more accessible, more supportive, rather than gives you money,
One thing Will mention is the Kinect games, the Kinect line of games. Like you don't really hear much about them, but like when you play them, they are, for the most part, pretty awesome. Like the Kinect. Have you ever played the Kinect Adventures? Like that was actually a lot of fun.
When Kinect first came out, it was like Kinect Sports, Dance Central. Yeah, I've played that. Dance Central, Kinect Sports. They were good. But their main audience was family parties. But when they tried to go to the hardcore gamers, that's where things went to shit. And
like Kinect Star Wars. Like what?
Yeah.
Like it seemed like I was expecting like parts of the game, like the parts of the game where it was actually serious. I was expecting that the whole time, and it turned out like, so is this seriously like a parody of, wow. Okay, and the Han Solo song? No, a Dance Party. Come on.
Yeah,
and they just like kind of grabbed the open market, like like teeny boppers and whatnot. Like, okay, we got to get kids to play this game too. We got to get like teeny boppers and whatever.
I mean, the Gunstringer, that was actually going to be quite good.
Right.
That worked quite well. Connectimals, it was great for kids. Again, stuff like Just Dance. Some of the sports games were a bit rubbish. They've also got that interactive TV, which is for a lot smaller children. It's good for that, for people, like I said, it's more family accessible. And, I can understand that. But certain games that just haven't worked, like the Avengers game was a bit naff, where they're trying and, what was that? What was the one we're using, like the Gundam type one, set in World War II? I don't remember what it was called. The Sonic Riders, that was awful.
Oh God.
Steel Battalion, that was it.
Oh wow.
It was. Yeah. Did you play Steel Battalion?
I played it on Xbox.
I've never known such a freaking monotonous game in my life. Literally, no matter what you did with your hands, Kinect thought you was doing something else. You was getting up, you was getting down, you was pulling up the periscope. I'm trying to fire a fucking button, and it was just doing God knows what. Kinect was not good enough at all to run that game. It was just terrible, and it didn't work. I mean, some Rise of Nightmares had a lot of issues with control, and but for the fun games, for the kids games, it was great. But I think Kinect needs to kind of be more than that if they want it to be successful. Right now with the next Xbox, you ain't got a choice. You're going to have it anyway. It's going to be on top of your TV whether you like it or not, because your Xbox needs to work with that Kinect.
Yeah,
which
that's cool.
And for a lot of people who didn't want a Kinect in the first place and hate it, it's probably going to put them off the new Xbox as well. I mean, it's got some cool features if they've really worked on it, but I can only imagine that'll put up the price because the Kinect on its own was £120 on launch.
Oh yeah, it was 150 here.
Yeah, yeah, and they had to reduce the hardware on that, or because the lens it had would have been too expensive, and it would have put up the price probably up to nearly 200.
Yeah.
So this next Kinect, surely it's going to be like, the next console's got to be around £500 to £600 minimum. I don't see it being any cheaper than that.
Yeah, I think like $500 might be lowballing it. $600
yeah.
would be
yeah, $600.
With an 8-core processor, 8 gigs of RAM, all the stuff that's in there, and it's if you look at the specs side by side with the PS4, supposedly, the only up it looks like it has on it is the PS4 has more teraflops on their graphics processor.
Yeah.
Those are just basic specs, though. I mean, it didn't say. I still haven't found somewhere where it says, "Oh, it's a 8-core processor with 1.6 gigahertz." It didn't say. I still haven't seen that number. Like how fast the processor actually is. Just the number of cores it comes with.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something else too. That that and the graphics unit as well.
Yeah. What it's capable of. I mean. Yeah.
Well, 120 teraflops. That's that's still pretty good. It's I think the PS4 was 160, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. Next gen games are going to run beautifully on both consoles. I mean, God, I cannot imagine what certain games are going to look like. I mean, the Battlefield 4. The visuals did look really good, and even Call of Duty for what it is, they've done. Because I imagine they haven't had much time to really play around with the software. They've probably had only just over a year to get this new engine together. Since Modern Warfare 3, since they finished on that, they've had within that time to get a brand new engine, try and just redo everything from scratch.
Right. I'm sure they worked on it longer than that.
Yeah.
Usually takes about like 2 years to develop a game, and I'm sure they've been working on the engine since Xbox was like, hey, here's a dev kit. And I'm sure they went to them first.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but I think because I've seen Ghosts on to pre-order for the Xbox 360 as well, and PlayStation 3.
Maybe on both. It's probably going to be on the new consoles and old consoles. Because the
new visuals, they look great and all, but we've had Battlefield and we've had Crysis running on our consoles, which already look better than like Modern Warfare and Black Ops 2.
Right.
So I don't see these new Call of Duty games exactly pushing the boundaries. I mean, they've got curved edges and stuff. You
got to remember too that it's brand new technology, and they're just now learning the architecture of it. So, 1 second, let me just pause. It's actually 1.2 teraflops, not 120. Sorry.
Oh,
not 160. 1.2 and 1.6. I added a 0 to that. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyways, when you're dealing with the new generation, if you go back and look at Call of Duty, the first Call of Duty on Xbox 360, you'll be like, that doesn't look like Xbox 360. It looks like Xbox.
Yeah.
It doesn't look much better, because they're just learning and they're getting the models and doing all that stuff. And then the second game will look better, and then gradually all the way through this lifespan of this next generation of console. So. Like just now the Xbox or the PS3 the visuals are getting 1080p.
Yeah.
If you go back and go into GameStop next or Game or whatever you have there, next time you go in there, go to the PS3 section and go to Assassin's Creed, and just look at on the back of it, like the newest one will have 1080p. If you look at the year before, it would be 720p, but it won't have 1080p, and so on and so forth. And I walked into GameStop one day and I was just like, I wonder if they're up to 1080p on the PS3 yet. She's like, what? And I just blew her mind. It's just like, oh my god, I had no idea. I was like, I know, most people don't. And they're bragging about oh, we had the best technology, but we don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Or people. Yeah. One of the things I remember, one of the developers, Valve, actually said that I think they would never develop a game for PS3 because the architecture was
complicated.
too complicated, too
Yeah.
too hard to
That's-
sit there. I
that
think
was
eventually
said-
they did like the Half-Life 2, the orange box or whatever, and Portal
Yeah.
2 on there, but it was just a long.
That was said. That was said by a lot of developers. It was really complicated to design for, and I think they even said that in their reveal, and they said that's why they've made the PS4 more accessible to be developed for, which was about it should have been like that anyway, but
Right.
yeah, but that back to Call of Duty. I mean, it's one of it is doesn't whether you love it or hate it, it is one of the biggest talking points. It's one of the biggest selling games, and it does look the part. I mean, for the campaign, I think because obviously a lot of people don't care about the campaign, it did remind me of a lot of Red Dawn. The whole idea of a small unit fighting for survival. It looks like they've tried to go more story based with characters that I care about, and Call of Duty has kind of got itself this reputation now, hasn't it, where people just hasn't got not really got a good thing to say about it. But
right.
I think maybe it's cool. Maybe we could say this again. Maybe they're going to get it right this time.
Well, what though? I'll take a Modern
so,
Warfare game. I'll take an Infinity War game over. I mean, I like
Treyarch.
Black Ops better, but I did not like Black Ops 2 at all.
No,
But Modern Warfare 3, I was like, at first, I was like, oh my god,
Black Ops 2 killed online entertainment because we no longer play together because everyone's sick of the bullshit.
Right.
This whole freaking 5-minute banishment because you accidentally killed a teammate. That there's no ricochet. That certain game modes aren't available in hardcore. It's alienated certain players, and it's stopped a lot of fun that we used to have. Which it's a lot to do with the game and that the developers are just stupid because it's simple things that people have enjoyed in the other games, and then they've just done lack of research and not implemented them in their game. I mean, friendly fire. You can have friendly fire, but you can also have ricochet. You can have both. I don't understand why they haven't done that.
Right, and have different lobbies for that. This is a lot of programming, I'm sure.
Yeah, but hopefully, maybe with the new engine and stuff, I'm looking forward to see what they'll do with the campaign because I do play the Call of Duty campaigns, and hopefully they'll do something interesting. The whole idea of dynamic maps online and what have you, that could be causing log. You get to see the logs collapse in that in the video and doing other things. That could be interesting also. So you have to wait and see, but hopefully there's got to be other games also that can match that online. They need to come up with something new. I know the original people who was behind Call of Duty 4 are working on a project at the moment for next generation console, but there's not much news about it. But hopefully, because everyone's always is there going to be a COD killer? Is Battlefield 4 going to be the COD killer? What the idea of having 64 versus 64 or something crazy like that on console, that's going to sell. That's going to be amazing, actually. I can't wait to experience that because up to 24 players isn't really fantastic on Battlefield on console, but I can imagine on next gen it's going to be fantastic. It's going to change everything.
Well, they'll have their initial server issues with the changeover of the new servers, and there's Xbox 360 servers and Xbox One servers.
But they said because a lot of servers they said they're going from 15,000 servers to 300,000 with this next gen console.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more information going into those new games.
Yeah. I just hope that means dedicated servers for most if not all online games, because that would be fantastic. Having a level playing field and not every game being dependent on someone's internet connection or its lag compensation. That's almost like it just shouldn't be a thing.
Right.
And I hope with next gen we're going to get next gen online entertainment rather than what we've already had in the last 6-7 years.
What I hope they do, since they have the Skype on the Kinect and they're forcing you a Kinect down your throat.
Yeah.
I hope that they implement it to where you can Skype while you're playing the game, and
Yeah,
have other people like play it like that. I'm sure that's part of the thing that they pitched today, but I didn't see it.
yeah. They kind of because I mean, the idea of watching the football or whatever, the NFL with your mates while you're having a few beers, that I can imagine the attraction there with Skype and stuff like that. But it might, I mean, it might even replace party chat. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. They could just use Skype instead of just using normal party chat. I don't know.
Yeah, there are gonna be some people that don't want to do that though, so you gotta have options. But
Yeah,
I don't want to be on the Kinect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I mean, it's also this new thing about extending the friends list to apparently, to 1,000 friends.
Thank God, it's been the same since like Xbox One launched, Xbox Live
that
2001.
That's good. That's good, but also at the same time, it's not that good either because unless you turn your notifications off, you're just gonna get God knows who coming online every few seconds. And then if someone sends you a message, you're not gonna get a notification because you've turned them off. Right. So it's gonna be I can imagine that's gonna be quite annoying. So they're gonna have to fix that. When people come online, I don't need a notification when someone comes online, but maybe when I get a message or whatever. But yeah, up to 1,000 friends. I can, it could be interesting. That could be good, but I don't think I'm ever going to get. I mean, it's going to be quite thingy trying to make an excuse for deleting someone when you've got 1,000 friends.
Like, I didn't make room, but you have 1,000. I need 1,001. Delete. Sorry, you didn't make the cut.
You didn't make the cut.
You're not one of 1,000.
You're not one of 1,000, yeah.
But I just sent you a friend request. You're not a fool. Yes, I am. Click. I have like such a trouble. Like I feel bad sometimes when I live stream with people from Xbox Live and they don't know. Like when I warn them, I'm like, "Is it okay if I live stream with you?" And they're like, "Yeah, I don't mind being on the YouTube." Are you sure? Yeah. All right. And then like a week later, I see them commenting on the things. Stop sending me friend requests. I'm not going to accept your friend requests. Oh my god. Just like flipping out.
Oh my god.
And they're just like losing their mind. Like apparently there was this the student chick I was playing with a lot on this this live stream, and they're nonstop getting like requests to play with them. Thinking either the live stream is still going on for some reason, that they don't know what the little like red light blinking means,
Yeah.
Or maybe they like the way they play it or the way they built it or whatever. It's just kind of funny.
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I can't get any friends requests at the moment because I'm full. But like, I don't mind joining. I don't mind joining other people's games or whatever and having a chat because I don't. It's just nice getting to know different people. And if they're into my YouTube channel, check it out.
Yeah, his YouTube channel's in the link in the description. It's Shaun of the Dead with the R.
Yeah.
And iGuitar Dude's in there too. Like he was playing League of Legends, a little jackass.
League of Legends.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you on Skype, but I'm not gonna talk at all.
I'm gonna play League of Legends.
Yeah, exactly. I was telling people the other day, like I want to get Last of Us. I am getting a PS3 just for that game.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play Journey as well because I've heard a lot about that, but I'm gonna wait until E3. I just saw my friend post about Journey.
Yeah, I looked at Last of Us. It does look good. It looks interesting. I mean, it's Naughty Dog. So.
Yeah, Naughty Dog. That's one developer that Sony better thank God they have because if they went to Microsoft or whatever, then it would be a powerhouse. I mean, Uncharted and Jack and Daxter, great game.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what they're going to accomplish on next gen. The stuff because like the way the movement and the how the character moves and stuff, it's so realistic and it's so amazing. They're really good developers, and I can't wait to see what they do. I mean, it's definitely going to be like the only. I mean, there's another game though that's a PlayStation. There's another game that's a PlayStation exclusive, and it looks like art in motion.
What?
It's Ni no Kuni.
Ni no Kuni.
Yeah.
That's It's from the people that did all the Miyazaki films. Studio Ghibli did the animation. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't got the game yet. I'm after it, and apparently it was £20 on PSN at some point. It was £20 on PSN. I don't know if it still is now. To be honest, I should download it if it is. But it just looks amazing, and there's not enough games out like that.
No, that's magical.
It just looks like an anime in action.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you're playing it, and it's incredible what they can do on the PlayStation 3 as it is now, and it's like 2013 and these games are coming out. I can't imagine what it's going to be like, next year for the PlayStation 4. What they're going to do, big things have small beginnings, as David said in Prometheus. So,
Wow.
It's
Nerd it out. Nerd it out.
I suppose that applies to the Xbox One as well.
Yeah.
Big things and small beginnings.
Yeah, I mean, the 360 has really evolved a lot. One thing something else I loved about the Xbox One is that they have a 4K output.
Right. Explain.
Okay, well, you know what 1080p is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the next level up is called UHD TV or 4K. So whether there's 1,080 lines of resolution, there's going to be over 4,000 lines of horizontal resolution.
So that's like ultimate high definition.
Right. That's what it is. UHD TV, ultimate high definition, and it's already built into the Xbox One. So I didn't see where the port would be, but I guess that's what the 1.4 HDMI is.
Yeah.
And right now, they're still working out a source to where it can output that storage device, and I guess maybe that's where they're going to work on the Blu-ray to where it can do that.
Yeah. Well, there's something they didn't mention actually at the reveal.
What's that?
Well, do you remember when there was this rumours going around about this how the Kinect was going to work, and it had like this glasses, and it was on about like a ultra reality type thing. They didn't mention any of that. So is that? I wonder if that's just been thrown out the window. Because I remember they did show these glasses where it looked like it's meant to display the game around you and stuff like that.
Oh no, that's built into Kinect. I think that's built into Kinect.
I mean,
I can't think of what it's called, but yeah, they were like touching on that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
where it shoots out like a picture that enhances like the gameplay you're doing with like different colors, and sometimes it'll actually expand on the picture.
Because I wonder if the Xbox One will be also 3D ready. I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried playing a video game in 3D.
No, 3D's dead, bro.
Ah, well, hold on. A lot of people say I played Uncharted 3 in 3D.
Yeah,
and it was fantastic.
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't.
Yeah, well, a lot of people say 3D's dead and stuff, but I've got my own 3D TV, and I think it's
here's why I say that
3D
is dead.
Go on.
Okay, when they did CES this year, there were like almost no 3D TVs to see anywhere.
Yeah,
it was all UHD TV, and actually, they've already come out with a TV that's beyond UHD TV.
I have seen those smart TVs as well, which have a sensor built in, which where you can actually kind of swipe and tell it what to do.
Right.
Seen those as well. I mean, I suppose that in respect that has, but I still enjoy my 3D Blu-rays.
Oh no, it's a fun
I'm
gimmick.
I'm hoping
they'll keep those. Unfortunately,
yeah.
Like if you see, like it's still at theaters, but people aren't running out to buy them. Is the problem. And people aren't willing to pay that much money for a little premium,
I do understand a lot of people don't like 3D.
Yeah, it gives a lot of people headaches and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose because I'm just one of the lucky few. I can just sit there and just play away or watch a film in 3D and be fine straight after. I mean, but yeah, they could. I mean, because I was hoping they was going to do like just a 3D experience video game, something that was. Just a one-off, even if it was for a gimmick.
Right.
But sadly, they never did that, and I was a bit disappointed, really, because I think that would have been really interesting. They could have done something just unique and different, just for people who did enjoy the 3D aspect of whatever, really, film or game.
Also, the Oculus Rift is coming out, so that will if anything, you get an Oculus Rift, that will be. I mean, virtual reality is better than 3D.
Yeah, virtual reality.
All these videos about the Oculus Rift coming out, and
that's
going to be really interesting.
That'll be the next thing: virtual reality or interactive reality, and whatever they can think of. Because, like I said, 10, 15 years ago, if you said you can hold the internet in your hands on a tablet, watch YouTube on the go, I mean, a lot of people take it for granted.
YouTube wasn't around.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like, a lot of people take it for granted because when I was watching the stream earlier, there was this guy saying, "Oh, all these people watching the live player for it's so sad." I says, "Look at it this way, mate." I said, "They managed to broadcast that to every single person's Xbox around the world, for this big thing." I says, "That's an achievement itself." And I says, and you're kind of taking it for granted that it's just a silly thing. I said, at the end of the day, when you was born, because I think it was like 13, 14. I says, when you was born, you wouldn't have a fucking clue.
Right.
You've grown up with it. I mean, I remember growing up playing with board games and stuff like that. There was a Sega and Nintendo. But...
Yeah. I remember the first time we got like AOL in our nice little computer that could run AOL and on dial-up at 28.8, baud speed, and I remember watching a picture be drawn on my screen. I thought it was the most amazing thing because it was coming over that little wire, the little like telephone wire. It was coming through the internet to my computer. It was amazing. And now it's flying around. It's all around us. The internet is everywhere.
Exactly.
It literally
that's
is
the thing.
In the air.
That's the thing I have to remind myself. I mean, when I get off a rant about, this Kinect's ridiculous and, they're sending all this blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, considering what they're capable of, it is pretty cool in that way. I do appreciate they're trying to attempt something with it. It's just, I don't know. They're not really there yet other than party games. But I still think it's kind of cool what they're doing. We're still able to do crazy stuff. We're going to have to Skype and dual wield whatever on the new Xbox. So
also something else they were talking about the cloud thing. Like apparently, like someone on your friends list, it'll record their gameplay if you're playing the same game, and it could like potentially go through. Say you're playing Need for Speed Underground or whatever, right? And you do a race, and I go and do the same race, and like even though you're not playing with me, it'll put your best game in there right next to me, and put your car as like a shadow, kind of like ghost racing on Super Mario Kart, and show what you're doing. So I can still race against you even though you're not online, more or less.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's what is that? Smart Match.
Smart Match. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. I just hope things.
No, that's not it. Sorry, that's something else.
Because obviously my impulse reaction from hearing the stuff about the new Xbox, I was like, I didn't like it. I mean, I'm hoping things will, they'll change my mind and explain that they're going to reduce prices maybe, or make things better. Games are going to last longer, and have a better reason, give you a reason not to trade them in. If they can give you that reason, I probably won't be so, annoyed about it. But at the moment, I'm just still uneasy. I mean, the whole there's certain games that won't trade in, like Call of Duty, Mass Effect. As long as they keep fun online. But yeah, it's just I don't know if I'm going to be like blasting out several games in a week type. That's how I am. I'll buy a game, complete it, trade it in, get a new game. But I don't know if I'm ever going to do that on the new console, which might hurt my YouTube channel a bit because I like to do reviews every week.
Right. Oh yeah.
And that's going to hurt me big time if I can't trade my games in, or if I'm not going to get a lot of money for trade-ins, because I don't get review copies or like that, which it would be nice.
Right.
So I don't know how that's going to affect me in the long run. So
I mean, personally, like I do the same thing. Like Tomb Raider, I went and Redboxed it. I played it for 2 days, recorded all that stuff, and then like uploaded it to my channel slowly, let it trickle out. But like for the most part, I won't buy a game anymore. Like I'll go and rent them. I'll GameFly them. You know, I'll Redbox
Yeah.
them, and
I've heard of this GameFly.
Bioshock Infinite. I haven't played it yet.
Haven't
Just
you?
because there were so many things that were coming out at the same time, I was like overwhelmed, and I was just like, I'll wait for it to drop. I'm trying to avoid everything that everybody says about it. Oh my god, it's so hard.
You was playing Lego
City Undercover, yeah. That's what it was. I was like, I'm so into this game, I don't want to go get Bioshock Infinite because I don't want to drop this game. Because I knew as soon as I stop playing it, I'll be done with it.
To be honest, looking back at my review, I think I might have overrated Bioshock a little bit.
Infinite?
Because, I had a conversation with my friend who got the same game, and he's very, he knows his stuff, and he hated it.
Right, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, and it was interesting because me and him were kind of like chalk and cheese, but we get on really well because even though he hates something and I might really like it, we can have a really interesting discussion about and we respect each other's opinion, which is nice as well. And like he ripped it apart, and after he ripped it apart, I kind of actually see where he's coming from, but I still give it a high rating because I personally enjoyed the game.
Yeah, and it's your review, other people's
exactly. But he said,
really...
it was like banging your head against the wall until it starts to bleed. That's how he said. That's how he described his playthrough through Bioshock. So, I think obviously games will be based on enjoyment. So some people think they're worth full price, other people ain't going to think they're worth a penny.
Right.
So, they need to kind of work on that to kind of. I suppose you can't please everybody, but. I think in terms of longevity, I mean, I got through Bioshock in like 12 to 15 hours, and that's not really very long at all. I think like a single player game needs to be at least 20 to 25 hours of gameplay.
It used to be, but now that's not a reality. I mean, if you get 12 hours of gameplay out of a game, you're doing good. Yeah,
but if you're spending like $60, $70 on a game, you really want to get your money's worth.
Exactly.
It's just like, what exactly are you paying for? 12 hours of entertainment. I mean, like $70 could probably get you about 200 hours worth of TV seasons, and so they kind of need to work on making the games a lot longer, especially because like I said, Metro Last Light is a really good game. It's just 12, but it's 12 to 15 hours, which. Where games like Fallout and Skyrim,
Borderlands 2,
you can put in hours upon hours, and they're the type of games I think are more successful. Even Darksiders 2, that took about 20 hours for me to fully finish. So I'd say that was a success. Even though now Crytek own them now, I think, don't they? Crytek own the Darksiders license.
I don't know, THQ had them and they sold them to somebody.
Yeah, I think Crytek got them. Because originally Crytek said they had no... they wasn't going to do any Darksider games. And I was like, oh, come on! Because all I could think of is 4-player co-op for the next game and having all 4 horsemen. And I could just imagine how good it would be. And now they've said that they are developing a game, they're looking into it.
Right.
Because they got Homefront as well, and they're developing Homefront 2. Obviously, they're probably doing another Crisis, and hopefully they'll be doing another Darksiders. Because all they seem to do is first-person shooters. They should try doing something different. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So overall, like, what would you rate the Xbox One from what you've seen out of 10?
Well, the reveal was 4 out of 10.
The reveal? I know, but the console itself.
I'm saying the reveal would be 4 out of 10. The console... I mean, it's good things and bad things. And obviously, until I know more, I'm just going to have to go with what I know now. So I'll probably say 6 or 7 out of 10. Just because the pre-owned games, it still doesn't make sense. No backwards compatibility. No information if you're going to have to bring over on-demand games, Xbox Live Arcade games onto the next Xbox. the fact you have to have the Kinect always on, I don't like that. I think it's a conspiracy. They're putting the Kinect in every home so they can watch us. That's what's going on.
I will be unplugging that every night.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know. Apparently, the FBI taps everybody's phone in America. So that's what I was told.
Jeez.
But like, for those reasons that it's not. It's kind of they're kind of like branching out on too much, like TV and stuff. I mean, I already have Freeview TV. I've already got Sky Player and Netflix.
Right.
I don't think I can get any fucking more TV than what I've already got.
Oh,
so,
did you hear about this live TV thing they demonstrated? You had to buy something separately from that?
Oh, no, I didn't know that. I only read that.
There's another device you have to buy to use that.
Angry Joe. I don't know if you watch
Angry
Joe show. Yeah, he's not happy at all.
He's never happy. When is he ever happy? Come on, that's his whole channel.
Yeah.
That's like saying Bruce's never happy. I mean, he's always happy,
I tell you what though, this guy it was just a straight up vlog. He didn't do like the Angry Joe show he usually does, and he looked so tired and he looked so pissed off, and he's just I've just been watching his tweets and he says it's not even gonna be fucking available outside of the US, and you have to buy something different to have it to work, and it's just like, I was like, fuck, that's ridiculous. So not only that, all this ESPN stuff, you're probably gonna have to buy a membership for this extra content on top of your Xbox Live membership that lets you just play online. So I cannot imagine how much money is going to be going into it.
What do you mean ESPN?
Yeah, ESPN, the Super NFL channel. I mean, I don't know if you do the same, but I don't. I've got Netflix, but it's not mine. It's my brother's.
Right. Yeah.
And
one user can use like several devices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like he's got it on like different. Different all the members of the family, which I think's a great idea.
A lot of people do that for HBO Go, and I do that with Hulu and stuff. So I mean, it's like a bubble. It's gonna pop. Eventually, they'll be like, oh, it has to be the same like IP address, or this sort of thing. It has to be the same connection or same Wi-Fi, or it's only a matter of time before they're like, just like Netflix for the longest time. I think it was like 2006, 2007. They started doing the online viewing for free. Like it was like a brand new thing they started doing. They didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
The Netflix thing, and then what was it like last year? They started like, okay, well if you want the streaming service, it's going to be separate than the DVD service.
Yeah.
And people got all upset about it, and it's like, well, you were getting it for free for 6 years. What are you complaining about?
Yeah.
You just didn't realize it. Like you just take it for granted. That sort of thing.
I suppose you do take it for granted, but like, I mean, as much as I want my Xbox to be an entertainment console,
I want it to entertain me through gaming.
Yeah,
frack the rest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've already got enough TV. I mean, I'm pretty sure the current Xbox has NFL and ESPN and all this sports bullshit they was on about for the next Xbox. We've already got that.
Yeah, but now you can play Halo while watching ESPN and watching your girlfriend jerk off. I mean, what?
Yeah.
On Skype via to Kinect. Be like,
yeah, that's just too much for my brain to take in.
Sorry about that. I don't know why I went that way, but it did.
Hey, but like, it's it's great that you can do all these different things. But like I said, at the reveal, I did expect at least. That should have been the smallest part of the reveal. The other part should be focused towards gaming, how they're going to because they kept saying, we're going to expand your gaming experience through cloud. Well, show us how you're going to do that. That's one of the things
I was talking about earlier with the cloud, with the shadow guy. That's pretty cool. And also the DVR function for gaming.
That's all cool, but I wanted to see it. I did, because all they did was tell us. They just spent time telling us what they could do rather than showing us. And to be honest, everyone prefer. When it's like showing a live action trailer when you say you're going to show gameplay, it's just ridiculous. And that's why I think a lot of people didn't like the reveal, because they wanted to see why it was going to be so much better than the PlayStation 4. It started off good. it started off good when he started physically demonstrating what you could do with the Kinect and stuff like that. I was like, yes, this is getting good. And then after that, it just went straight downhill because all he did was just talk rather than show us what the system was capable of. Or when he went to show us, they just gave us a load of just stuff that wasn't even gameplay, apart from the Call of Duty bit, which overall it's just disappointing. I mean, E3, they could blow us away, or they might not. So I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the price goes up, because it seems like they're waiting on Sony to say what the price is. So
yeah, price.
Can, make it higher or lower based off of their price.
That's going to be a big deal breaker.
What do you think would be a good price? Like, what would be your breaking point for?
Well, because
Xbox.
Ideally, I'd be getting it for Christmas. Because that's when you get all the money. Everybody gets money for Christmas off Santa, and I can imagine it's with the Kinect, because with the Kinect, the hardware. I'm looking at it from the same with perspective as the Wii U. You was paying more for the tablet than you was the actual console. I can imagine this could be probably but where the console for the Xbox is like, God knows what it's got. It's obviously more powerful, but it's got something ridiculous inside of it. And then you got the Kinect that's going to be just stupid like technology as well. You're going to be looking at, in British pounds, it's definitely between 500 and 600. Definitely, I mean 500 will probably, that's where they'll probably go at.
Okay, what about US dollars? Cause...
I mean, well, the thing is, it could be crazy. They could do it for like $400, like 300 British pounds, or something around that area. It could be ridiculously cheap. One? Yeah, it could be ridiculously cheap. They might do that. They might do that and try and get like one of the biggest selling consoles ever. Because if it was that cheap, it would sell like crazy.
But you know what though? If you go back to the PS3 and the Xbox launch, the PS3 was $600, and then they had the 20 gig was $500, and they had no problem selling those out real fast. And number two, like the Xbox when it launched 360, I think the 20 gig version was $500. And then, or was it $400? $400 and $300.
Because I remember when Xbox launched in the UK, it was cheaper than the PlayStation. And I remember I was in the supermarket and there's people queuing up for it. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Because there's like 6 people just in a queue. I was like, I was like, it's the Xbox launch. I was like, it's not a very big launch if there's only like 7 of you.
Yeah, because that was all the pre-orders right there.
Yeah, exactly. That was all the pre-orders, and they'd sold out. There's just a handful of people. But I mean,
I remember I worked at a GameStop on launch of a 360, and it was my first night. They hired me like just for the purpose for me to bounce for a 360 at launch. Because I had to like tell all people, okay, you can go in, you can go in, you can go in. The rest of y'all F off. Like, and they actually like started like getting all upset and stuff. I'm like, hey, back up.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, considering the Kinect is an integral part of the console, so technically, let's just say the Kinect isn't a separate thing; it is the console as well. I imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
This is their marketing it as. They're trying to make it a part of the console. It is the hardware. Yeah. It was in the specs. Like
it can't work. It can't work without it. You can't buy the console without a Kinect. Right. You can only have it that way. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, I'd like it to be like £350. I'd love it. I'd love that. That'd be lovely. But it's not going to happen.
Considering it has an 8-core processor and all the specs that are with it, I would say at least $600 on and we would be lucky, I think, if it were. Really lucky for $500, but I don't see it. So with the 500 gig hard drive, I mean, if you look at the PS3 right now, the 250 gig hard drive is $299. I think that model.
Yeah.
Because of the Uncharted 3, but what do you do? They're not paying for that.
Well, this is the big question. This is what I seem to a lot of PC gamers throw out there. You can buy a PC that's at that standard for the exact same price, or something like that. And I kind of think to myself, well, can you? Because unless you know what you're doing, I don't think you could. Because I don't know nothing about making a PC or building a tower.
All right.
And when I've looked into getting a PC, gaming PC, it's over £1,000, and I'm thinking, that's
I think
a
the
lot.
one I got last year was like $700, and
Yeah,
I mean it's just now like getting to where
and
I need to get a new graphics card.
yeah, exactly. And by the next year you're gonna need a new graphics card because something's not compatible with your current graphics card.
Right.
And PC, I mean, as great as PC gaming is, for someone who can't do that maintenance themselves, me,
Right.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have a box, plug it into my TV, play. I don't want to have to fuck around with files.
I'll take the crappy
and
graphics
stuff.
and pay $10 more. That's part of where that like extra $10 comes in, because what they do is they develop the game like basically for the PC, and then they port it more or less for the Xbox and PS3 and stuff like that. So that's where that $10,
I suppose
the regular development comes in.
If I look at it that way, it makes me feel a little bit better.
I think that's honestly where it comes from, because they have to basically go through and scale down everything.
Yeah,
it's the graphics and all that stuff.
Well, hopefully they won't have to do that now, but
well, they still will, yeah.
Because they said this technology has been in PC for years, and I'm thinking, well, there's not been a single pissing game out there to show it. Really,
well, you know what though? If that's, I think they're just not coming out with 8-core processors like the last couple of years, maybe. Because when I was looking at it, 6-core were like, there weren't that many 6-core.
I mean, there are some nice graphical games, but I haven't seen a PC exclusive, right? That is just like groundbreaking graphics. It's just absolutely unbelievable. It doesn't exist. There isn't one. It doesn't matter how powerful your PC game is. If you ain't got a game that runs, that's going to show it off, it's a bit of a waste of time.
Right.
I mean, I can understand Battlefield 3, with 64 players online. That's great. But the only difference there is probably slight change in visuals. The lighting's better, certain things are better on PC, and then you got more players. That's not exactly me going, holy shit, I need to get myself a PC. I'm living my life completely wrong.
Right. And it's constantly upgrades and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Exactly. Unless there was a game on PC which, as everyone says, on PC's absolutely ultimate power, then if there's a game displaying that, I'd understand where they're coming from. But I have not seen it.
Also, I started using my gaming or my PC more for gaming. When Borderlands 2 came out, I bought that on PC instead of Xbox, just so I was like, I could play with Don and Nia, and probably Brew will come over, and that'll be cool. It's cheaper. Yeah. I got it for like $30 instead of $60. Yeah, I got this really awesome deal on it, and but the thing was, get this, the multiplayer was broke for like the first 3 weeks. So I was like, by the time I didn't even care about the game anymore, and at this point in time, I think I'm gonna buy it on Xbox 360 again, on Xbox 360, just so I can play it.
That's the thing. Like, some PC launches haven't exactly been fantastic. Look at EA's Sim City and Diablo. Right. This is just for PC. This isn't for console, so it's all focused on one thing, and they still managed to somehow fuck it up.
Right.
There are some great reasons for PC, and I think the biggest appeal is the fact that not because PC has the best visuals. That's not the appeal. I think it's the amazing indie games you get on PC.
Right.
It's the amazing, the amount of indie games that some of them are free or extremely cheap is the main attraction for me. It's not how powerful the actual rig is. It's actually all these amazing games that people have made off their own backs. Like I said, you got the Slender, and then you got Slender: The Arrival, which was done by a small indie company. There was like Mac Pixel and stuff like that. Just these complete outwear games, and I think that's what makes it better than current consoles, because a lot of them are free. A lot of these paranormal haunted games and stuff you see about,
Amnesia and stuff like
yeah,
that. Yeah. Well, also League of Legends.
yeah, exactly. League of
Huge,
Legends,
like one of the biggest games out there right now, free to play, and it's only on PC.
a Blacklight Retribution.
Yeah, Blacklight Retribution. We were talking about that the other day. We were talking about like if that released on consoles, man, Call of Duty would be like, what would we do?
Yeah, exactly. And that's big separation between, so I don't think it's all about PC being the most powerful. I think it's just that it's kind of got the indie,
street cred.
Yeah. But the only problem is, as it gets more powerful, and obviously because I'm on a laptop and I used to play a lot of indie games, but now because things are getting a bit better, they've got better dev tools. And sadly, I can't play most of their games.
Yeah.
Because literally the frame rate is just like at like 5, and I a lot of stuff is unplayable, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I want to support, because I do like supporting a lot of indie stuff.
One of the things is actually, speaking of indie, going back to PlayStation 4, I think one of the things they were saying is that they're supporting developers that use Unity engine, I think it was.
Yeah.
And today, I was reading one of Mojang's Twitters, and they said that there was an unveiling today that that engine is free now for developers.
That's good.
So that will be a huge, a huge thing for Sony.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see, like, what Xbox has to offer the indie developer now, compared to, hey, you got oh no, was it Trinity? I can't remember if it was Trinity or not, or Unity.
Unity engine sounds familiar to me, because my nephew feeds into all the developing. Hopefully, he's going to be the game designer as long as he works hard. And he does a lot of like map editing and stuff like that, and he's shown me some of the stuff he's been doing.
Right.
And because like he was on about apparently the engine that Black Ops 2 is running on, he's saying he was moaning because it's not been released for them to work on to make maps and stuff.
Right.
And he's saying that it's stupid because a lot of people should work on it, and for some reason Treyarch or Activision haven't released it, or they've released a shit version or whatever. I remember him moaning about that. But I was just telling him that he should look at developing on Android or iOS, because that's where it all is at the moment.
Right.
Because I think that's what EA said. I mean, I know there was bashing the Wii U. They said they want to focus their developments on next gen and mobile market, which because didn't wonder a thing about that. Android and iOS have outsold both consoles in money. They've made more money than the current consoles, and that's how mobile gaming is getting so big.
Look at the Star Wars, the Old Republic, right? Remember how much of a fail that game was?
Yeah, I do.
Then they went free to play, and it's made more money in the time they went free to play than the whole other time combined.
I actually still have that game on my hard drive. I think I've still got it on my hard drive. I just don't play it anymore.
Yeah.
I think even when I cancel my membership, I can just go back and play it, but I don't care. I mean, I'm actually talking about it. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember seeing this trailer? It's just made me think of it because it was meant to be Warhammer Dark Millennium. Do you remember that? Mm-mm. Warhammer Dark Millennium apparently has been canned. Which I was like, what? That's shit. And it was like imagine, Defiance.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that, but with a Warhammer universe and obviously better visuals.
Right.
Where literally people were space marines and God knows what else, orcs, or whatever, and they was there to fight in an open battlefield. But for some reason it got canned, and I think that's to do with THQ. And Relic going, because Relic got bought out by Sega. Sega have got Relic now, which isn't good. because after considering Sega published Aliens Colonial Marines and then let Gearbox lie to us all,
Right. Oh, God.
I've lost a bit of respect for those guys. So yeah, hopefully they're not gonna fuck up Warhammer. I'll be a bit upset about that because I do like the Warhammer games.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it happens sometimes. Like games just get cut. Just like that Star Wars game they were working on, and I got the axe.
What 1313?
Supposedly,
EA might bring it back. If they've got anything about them, because obviously Battlefront. The idea of getting, God, my God, if they make Battlefront for next gen, can you imagine? Could you imagine Frostbite 3 engine, Battlefront 3? Literally,
I would be happy with any Battlefront 3 on running on any engine. I don't care if it's like NES ROM. I just need, the fact that they skipped this whole generation of, Xbox 360 without making a Battlefront tells me they probably won't bring it back. 5 or 6 years. I hope that they do. I hope they do, but
considering EA have published, because EA, as much as people hate them, they know what sells in respect.
Yeah, but you gotta go back to Disney on that. Disney's got the licenses, so if they source it out to somebody that would be willing to develop it and do it well, but it's on Disney. It's not on EA. They can't say, hey, you got to make this game for us.
I really hope Disney just they better do, because we're gonna have 3 more Star Wars films. J.J. Abrams is at the helm, so there's hope. There's hope. Yeah. Have you seen a new Star Trek film?
No.
That's absolutely.
I didn't like
fantastic.
the first one. Why would I see the second one? No.
I loved the second one's loads better. I really enjoyed it.
Well, and I don't. So it was like watching oil pour out of the Gulf.
I didn't like Star Trek growing up. I thought it was silly, and I always preferred Star Wars. But I think these new Star Trek films are better than the new Star Wars films that were made. Episode 1, 2, and 3. I just hated it.
That's not saying much.
Yeah,
I've seen coffee dry, cool down. That's more entertaining.
Yeah,
episode 1, 2, and 3.
I'm hoping something's gonna. Just a sad face.
Smiley face.
Yeah, is it a smiley face, or is it just a face with a big nose?
Smiley face. It could be a nose.
It could be a nose. Could
be something else. Maybe awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what PS4 comes out with, and see what they, what the price point of their system is. Because I'm thinking it's going to be, I don't know how big their hard drive is going to be or anything like that, but I'm going to say $700 is going to be their price point.
Well, I imagine PS4 would be cheaper than the Xbox because they haven't got the extra piece of hardware like the Kinect. It's just a console.
Yeah, but they're more. You gotta remember, Sony is Sony, and they like to put a price tag on it just because of their name.
Yeah, I do remember when the PS2 was ridiculous amount of money actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
Look at the PS3 right now. Even after all this time, they're not. As technology is getting cheaper, they're not giving you that discount. They're making you pay more and buy a game or a hard drive along with it.
They did release the 4. Yeah, because they released the 4 gig console for £99.
The what?
In the UK. 4 gig? 4 gig.
4 gig?
Yeah, they did a special.
Not the Xbox.
No, they did a PS3 version as well.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, they did a PS3 4 gig console.
PS3 4 gig console.
Yeah.
No, that's the Xbox.
No,
that's not an America thing, dude.
I swear.
4 gig, not 3, but 4.
Oh man, let me have a look.
4 gig PS3 console. I don't see such a thing. I googled it. I think you're just making stuff up.
No, because I see it in HMV.
Snopes. I don't see that. I see 160 gig. The smallest I've seen is a 40 gig.
Oh man! Hold on a minute. £99.99.
So if you're just joining us, Sean's making up stuff about the PS3.
I'm not making up. I swear.
There's a 99-pound PS3 that's 4 gigs.
Oh, Xbox at 125.
Yeah.
No, the Xbox is 99 and the PlayStation 4 is at 125.
Okay.
But
how big is the hard drive? What are you talking about?
I'm trying to find out. This was on Boxing Day. Where is it?
But anyways, he's saying that there's a PS3 that was only 99 pounds or 125 pounds. Or something.
There we go. MCV reports that the Sony's base 12 gig version of the PS3 will be available for 125, bundled with a Blu-ray of Spider-Man. There you go.
Oh, 12 gig?
Yeah, they did a 12 gig. See, I was not crazy.
Oh, well, that's not a 4 gig. You lose.
Yeah, well, I got confused.
That's only in the UK, though.
Is it? It's only
in the UK.
Here.
It says UK.
Oh, all right.
PS3.
Aren't we lucky?
It's an SSD is what it is. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. And it's like 125 pounds. You said?
Yeah, that's what they did. Because I remember because there was a very drunk man in HMV and he was shouting at the person, and that's when I found out it was like for that price.
Nice.
That's my story of how I found it was like really cheap. But I think I remember HMV did price it at 99, even though it was at 125.
So what is that in American?
Does anyone know in the stream?
129.
It's not a lot more.
Yeah, it is. It's almost twice.
It's like $30, probably $30 more.
129 pounds is $195 in US.
Bloody hell! $195. God,
yeah, so that's almost $200. That's good, but like the lowest price we have on PS3 in the States is like $250. It's brand new. Like if you buy a refurb or a used one, you can get a little bit cheaper or like a little one, but you don't want to do that. It's gonna get that yellow light anyway, so it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Did I tell you, like, I fixed my brother's PS3? He gave it to me as, like, yeah, go trade this in or something. It's not working anymore. So I found this YouTube video of how to fix it. I basically remelted the circuit drive, or the circuit board. I used a hair dryer. That's how I fixed it, at the hair dryer. It took me about 40 minutes. That's how I fixed it.
I remember when my Xbox got a Red Ring of Death, and I wrapped it up in a towel, and it worked, and I traded it straight in with my fingers crossed, and the guys tested it. It worked for them. I got a new Xbox. I didn't give a shit.
That's exactly what I did with the PS3. I was like, yeah, it works great.
I never went back to that game store, but I got away with it.
That's awesome.
Because I think I got like 80 to £100 for it trading. So I got a good trade-in value.
Well, if you trade it in at that point, it's their property, and they can go in and they have to go through this process where they test it anyways.
Yeah.
So if it goes defective after that, that's on them. No,
yeah.
It's just shipping.
I was really impressed. I was like, the towel trick worked.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's not a myth. It's not a myth.
No, it's real, man. Like the hair dryer trick works too. It's like
that's crazy. It's crazy. But that makes me wonder how quiet will the next Xbox be?
They said it's supposed to be like quieter than the Xbox 360.
Really?
Because it has like 4 cooling fans going.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 4 cooling fans.
Yeah, I think that's what it said. Yeah, somewhere.
That's a lot. That's because that shit would overheat, surely.
I don't think so, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope to have no problems on launch because I would like to buy one on launch if I could afford it, but I'd be so worried about it breaking down.
Right.
Just hope that
that's
happen.
A really fascinating thing is like the very first batch of Xbox 360s, no problems.
Yeah.
Like the first few generations were fine. It was just like after they started mass producing them is when they started having problems.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I've had the new technology is a little cheaper, and
I've had the red Ring of Death twice.
I've never had it, not once.
Yeah, Never. Yeah, I remember you saying you'd never had it.
Huh? This
Yeah.
one I've had,
That's
the one I'm looking at right now, I've had for almost 3 years now, and I bought it used. It was a model that came out in 2007, and I've had no problems with it.
wow. I
Not one.
wish. That's insane.
Hey, you know how much I play my Xbox? I mean, shoot, it's not like I'll never turn it on.
Yeah. I mean, I've I've never had a problem with PlayStation. I think that's the only console I've never had a problem with.
Right.
Literally never had any issues. My PS2 that worked until the PS3 came out. The PS3's been fine. Never had a problem with it. Apart from like the firmware updates and shit, I've lost memory and stuff like that because of an update, which was annoying, and I lost all my game saves and all my stuff on the hard drive had to be like reinstalled. But other than that, like the console itself has been fine. But with Xbox, I've had all sorts of problems. Amount of times I've had to phone up Xbox Helpline. Something wrong with it. Can't do this. Can't do that. It's broken.
Right.
And then they tell you to put in this like magic code that's going to fix it.
That'd be nice.
You have to. Do you remember that? Yeah, you have to like press like several like things
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
controller.
I remember that. I used to run to Xbox Live, remember?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But that was weird. What does that do?
What?
What does it actually do
What does what do?
when you do that magic button command and you type in?
It tells the computer, it like just resets it.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, there are certain combinations you can press on your Xbox that can bypass any code that it asks for. So it's like, oh, I'm locked out, I can't buy this thing. It's like, oh, you got to press these buttons. Oh, okay. I just reset that password. Cool. But anyways, guys, the verdict's out so far. Sounds like Sean's, on the fence about it, but he kind of wants it because, Mass Effect 4 is going to be exclusive for Xbox One. That's what he says, and we're waiting on the price, really. The price and when is it going to be out? That's really what we're waiting for to see on the Xbox One. If you want to check out Sean's channel, the link is in the description. It's Shaun of the Dead on YouTube, and we had Alec on for a little bit. I Guitar Dude 2744. He was really helpful.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm a jojopet if you've never been to my channel, but I think you probably all here know who I am. But we're gonna wait till E3 comes out, and then we'll have a final verdict on whether PS4 or Xbox One. Are they officially calling it the PS4? I don't know.
What's that? Go on.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Skizzle.
Bye.
I was just wondering if the PS4 is the official name for the next Sony PlayStation.
I think their tagline is greatness awaits, but I think they're going with